Hi, fifth graders. Thanks for joining me. I really want to talk to you guys today about habits of successful students. I think right now, doing virtual learning, we're spending a lot of time thinking about how this is so different than when we're face to face. And there definitely are some differences. But I think you'll be surprised to see that the way you can be successful learning online is no different than how you'll be successful when we're here face to face. Good students all have similar habits, and I want to talk to you about some of those today so that you can kind of set some goals and that you can start practicing some of these things. It's going to be helpful for you now at home in these first few weeks, but if you can really do these things well, when you come back here face to face, you are just going to rock it out this year. So I have this great list of 10 things that successful students do. Again, this is online and in person. So the first thing is to get organized. Create a schedule of the things that you need to do. I really recommend that you have a planner. That's something that I use. My goodness, look at my planner. I have sticky notes everywhere. I have things highlighted. I love my planner. I also use a calendar on my phone, so that I know when I have important meetings or different things that I have to attend. So there are lots of tools out there. There's no right or wrong one, but you do need to have a system for organizing yourself, especially when it comes to school. Right now with virtual learning, you need to make sure that you're keeping track of your Google Meet times. So make sure you have a system. Are you going to set an alarm on your phone so you don't forget those times? Are you going to put sticky notes up on your wall? Are you going to do you have a whiteboard or something like that at your house that you're going to write those times on? Whatever the system is, create one so that you are organized and that you're keeping track of your assignments and your meeting times. Number 2, ask questions. Just like in class, it's really okay to ask questions. And to be perfectly honest, as your teacher, when I see a student take the time to ask a question virtually by emailing me or asking a question in our small group, I'm really impressed by that because I think, wow, this student really cares about their learning. They want to know, they want to do it correctly. So that's a great thing. Don't be shy about it. Number 3 is to study in small groups. We're lucky because we're going to be meeting multiple times a day in small groups, and those are going to be like little study groups. We're going to be talking about different topics, practicing different things, but you can ask questions not only to me, but to your classmates. That is a really great way to learn, so I'm excited about that. Taking notes. This is important in class, but as you're watching those videos, like this that I'm posting, it's a really great idea to have a notebook handy where you can just jot notes down. Look at this. I just happen to have this on my desk for some notes that I took in a meeting earlier today. So you can write down things that you need to remember to do. On this particular one, I have some things that I've checked off that I've completed. Whatever system works for you, but taking notes is really important. Also, take study breaks. It's okay to give yourself a break. If you start to feel yourself being really unfocused, whether you're reading and you feel like you just read a whole page and you don't remember anything you read, that happens to me too. Or maybe you're watching this video and you just caught yourself kind of zoning out for a little while. It's okay. In fact, one of the perks of virtual learning is that you can hit the pause button. Take a second, stretch, go move around, get a little drink of water, have a snack, and then come back, refocus, and do it. Notice it says on there, take a 5 to 15-minute study break. Don't give yourself hours and hours of time off, but try to be really focused. If you're having a hard time staying focused, give yourself a quick break and then come back to it. All right, we're on to the next side now. Don't multitask. This is something you're going to hear me say a lot this year. In fact, there is no such thing as your brain being able to do 2 things at once. It's called switch tasking. Your brain switches away from one thing to do another thing. So if you're trying to watch TV and watch this video at the same time, you're either missing part of your TV show or you're missing part of this video. You can't take in 2 bits of information at once. Okay, so try to be really focused, stay focused on a single task, and you'll get it done quicker and you'll do a lot better of a job as well. Next, set up your study space. It's really good to have a designated spot at home where you can complete your work. And it needs to be a place where it's free of distraction. as best as possible. So it might be in your bedroom, it might be maybe your family has a quiet spot in the corner of the dining room or wherever, that you have an area where you can be set up to work. Okay, working. I love to work outside. Sometimes I take my Chromebook out on our deck and I do some work out there. But you have to be a little bit careful of getting too comfortable. You still need to be in school mode. So if you're trying to do your work outside and there are kids running around playing in your neighbor's yard, maybe you're not going to be as focused as you could be if you were inside. Okay, so find a good, calm, quiet place where you can work. Number 8 is to think positive. It says positive thinking is the key to success. What you say to yourself in your head becomes your reality. So if you tell yourself, this is awful, I hate it, I can't do it, that's probably the way it's going to go. If you tell yourself instead, like, oh, this is a little more challenging, this is going to take more effort, but I'm going to get it done, I'm going to make myself do it, I've got this, you'll be surprised. So give yourself a pep talk. Be your biggest fan. Don't be the person that's putting yourself down in your head. Number 9, learn from your mistakes. I really like this. Do not stop pursuing something because you failed at it. In fact, if you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they got there because they failed. Walt Disney had major failures at the beginning of opening up Disney World. Michael Jordan got cut from the high school basketball team. So some of the greatest people on earth experienced huge setbacks, but they didn't give up. So use it as an opportunity to grow and to do better. And then finally, get enough sleep. I know that might sound kind of silly, but we are back to school even though we're not face to face. So we've all kind of gotten ourselves in summer mode. I'm right there with you. I stayed up later. I slept in later in the summertime. But now we're back to school and we need to get ourselves back in the habit of going to bed at a decent time, getting up at a reasonable hour, having breakfast, getting dressed, all of that. In fact, I think a benefit of doing these first 2 weeks virtual is it's the perfect way to kind of slowly ease our way back into school mode. So make sure that you're getting yourself back in a routine and back on a schedule. Okay, so speaking of schedules, I found this and I thought this was such a fabulous example of what a day might look like when you're doing virtual learning. So in the morning, you need to get up, again, at a reasonable time, get yourself dressed and eat some breakfast. You are responsible to get onto Google Classroom by 9 o'clock to access your work for the day. Okay, so just like if we were here at school, I would expect you to be in your seats ready to learn actually at 8:50. So you get a little bit more time at home, but you do need to practice getting out of bed, getting dressed, eating breakfast, and getting ready to learn. I like this next step, plan your day. So organize your space, check your email, go to your Google Classroom, check those announcements, find your work for the day. And then once you've done that, you're going to get going on your academics. So start with your lessons and your activities. Give yourself breaks. We talked about that. A 15-minute break is really important. And then get right back at it and get going on your academics. Give yourself a break for lunch. And then in the afternoon, take a walk, get yourself moving. It's so good for your brain to be active. So dance around, run, do an online workout video. I thought that was kind of a cool suggestion. Again, check your email again. We mentioned before, maybe checking your email first thing in the morning and then checking again in the afternoon to see if there's any new information. It might even be me emailing you and saying, hey guys, I just realized there was an issue with that assignment. Here's a new link, or here's how to fix that problem. So checking your email more than once a day is a good idea. And then again, getting going on your academics. You might choose to kind of follow the same schedule that you'll have here at school. If you're in my homeroom, you'll be doing your ELA work in the morning and your small group with me, and then you'll be with Jean Lusher in the afternoon. So maybe you want to break up your day like that at home as well. And then once you finish up your work in the afternoon, then go outside, get some more fresh air. And in the evening, that's your time to be with your family and your friends, to recharge. I want you to get outside and I want you to play with your friends. But just like if we were here at school, you need to keep yourself on a routine. School and academics and your work really needs to come first. And then the fun playtime is kind of your reward at the end of the day. Use it as a motivator that I can't wait to get together with the neighbor next door. I really need to work hard so I can get my work done so I can go out and play with them. All right. So hopefully this schedule helps you. If there were any things on the list that I talked about earlier that you felt like, ooh, I don't do that, or I don't have that. Maybe I don't have a system to keep my meeting times straight, or I don't have a quiet place to work. That's your homework. I want you to try to come up with a system or come up with a space or any of these other areas that we talked about. Try to get those things in order so that you have those habits in place to be the most successful student that you can be. All right. And again, these are things that will help you when we come back to school face to face. Thanks for listening, guys, and I will see you in small group.